So yeah, speak right into the microphone. So it's almost touching you.
How's that?
Excellent.
Wait, who had their germs on that one before?
No one. We're very natural in Northcliffe. Thank you.
Uh-huh. Oh, Northcliffe Naturally.
I know.
Nice. Welcome to the Northcliffe Naturally podcast. Thank you so much for gracing our very first show.
Thank you for having me.
And would you introduce our guest, Claire?
Oh, you're running the Northcliffe Naturally podcast. I think it'd be better coming from you, Graham.
Oh, this is Kerry, who is she was our local hairdresser. I'm not sure if she's our local hairdresser now or a mother. I guess both.
Yep, definitely doing both.
So you're still doing a bit of hairdressing here and
Just
there?
one day a week. Yeah, it's a good excuse to get out of the house and
you're doing
have a
it
bit of fun.
in the shop?
Yeah, back in the salon
Ah, fantastic. What day is it?
every Thursday.
Are you all booked out or are you looking for work?
It's getting a bit crazy, definitely.
Might have to go 2 days a week.
Next year, hopefully.
Ah,
Yep.
fantastic.
When kindy and daycare align, I will be able to have 2 days.
Yay! And I can finally get my hair cut. So Kerry whinges all the time that one of her besties, that's their hair. It's kind
Yeah.
of gross.
Yeah.
I don't
I'm
know
ready to go
how-
to twice a year haircuts.
Who cuts your hair?
I have done it in the past.
You have?
How
You
long's
have.
it been?
Well, I shave it every year.
Oh my God, that's gross. I mean, lovely, fantastic. Really? I didn't see you do it last year.
Yeah, I do it every year.
Oh,
Didn't notice I had much shorter hair around summertime.
Like none.
no?
No.
And I didn't take. Did I have a traumatic brain injury at the time?
Yes, actually, we'll let you slide with that.
Thanks.
Mm,
Thanks.
nice save.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vox Pop! Yay!
How's it going?
Good,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. So I've just got 3 questions just as a starter for the Northcliffe Naturally podcast.
Yes.
So first of all is a fairly worldwide question. What did you do for Valentine's Day last week?
Not very much. My husband bought me a lime tree.
He actually bought you something.
Yeah, he likes limes. I don't like limes or curry.
So he bought himself a Valentine's
He's going to
present.
go on the podcast off.
Beautiful.
Oh, sorry. I
um,
never thought I'd be able to say something about that. Start again. What did I do for Valentine's Day? What did I do? Nothing. We had a nice dinner.
Oh.
And I spent a lot of time with my cocky do.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Now, my next question, which you're actually going to know the answer to, but a lot of people in Northcliffe don't. And I want you to be horrified by the fact they don't know what it is.
Yes.
Do you know what a phascogale is?
Yes. Yes. It's a little animal. It's a daisy red. I have some on my farm, and they come in red tail and brush tail phascogales.
I only knew
And
about
they're
the
vicious
brush
little
tail.
creatures. Yes, no, there's 2 kinds down here, and you need to lock up your chickens because they like baby chickens. They're gorgeous.
Another question I've been asking, and I know the answer to this question for you. How good is your dog?
Oh, best Maremas. Get a Marema. They're awesome.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, and get ducks.
Beautiful. All right, that's it.
Message.
Why Northcliffe?
Why? Why do I like it?
No, there's
Or-
2 questions.
That's 2. So what was the first question?
What's your message for Northcliffe?
I'd have to think about that. What's the second question?
Well, why did you come to Northcliffe?
To get away, get into the countryside, things like that. More of a sense of community.
Do you like it in Northcliffe?
Yeah, I love it here. Yeah. I've lived all over the world, and this is somewhere I'll probably stay here now. So yeah.
Okay. Just give us a brief idea of where you've lived before.
Yeah, I've spent a lot of time in Europe, in Prague and Krakow and places like that. Holland, Spain, Portugal.
Yeah.
I spent a couple of years in Indonesia and California for a while, Hong Kong, 30 odd countries.
And how long have you been in Northcliffe now?
About 3 years.
30 countries.
Mm.
Recording there. And recording there.
And recording here. Yeah, right. Checklist. Red light, red light, red light, red light.
Okay.
Which means green. Green for go. Are we all sitting comfortably?
Yes.
Now you're sitting back. That's all right. It's because you're sitting back a bit. No, it's all right. I was just checking the camera was in the right angle. Welcome to the first episode of a show we're planning to become a regular feature of Northcliffe Life, the Northcliffe Naturally Show. Expect things to start a bit primitively while we get better at using all this technology and developing content. We've got all the equipment we need to make a great broadcast, but we're right at the beginning with everything else. Other than the title, everything about the show is likely to change, so we're open to all your ideas and feedback. Comment in the YouTube comments or email or call into the Northcliffe Community Resource Centre at northcliffe.org.au/ncrc.html. We are coming to you from Northcliffe's new mini broadcasting studio, which has been over a year in the making. We've got funding support from the Northcliffe community, the Government of Western Australia and the Shire of Manjimup. While the room we're in is very small, we're fitted out for quite a journey. And many thanks to our guest today, Abe Shields, for helping us out while we're still such beginners.
Yeah, it's great to be here on this initial podcast, and I've lived in Northcliffe for about 25 years, and this is probably one of the most amazing things I think I've ever seen, and hopefully word will get out, and I think we'll show this planet just some of the amazing talent that lies south of the Warren.
Here, here.
And so what I've got written down here, what do you like about Northcliffe? You just said the talent is obviously part of it.
Way back in the dream time, I bought a block of land for $50,000, and it was probably changed my whole life because it was the first property I bought, and I've just hung in there, raised a son, built a house, and I'm still here.
Yeah. And now I believe you've got a fully legal, schmicko, well-insulated house.
Yes, I do. Thanks to the Shire of Manjimup for bringing about the error of my ways. No, I'm pretty cosy, and I'm a very lucky man. I've been retired for a few years, and I've done a bit of travel, but travel's great, but once you leave Northcliffe, the world's a very noisy place.
So, question on everybody's lips, what is Lake Kahuna?
Lake Kahuna, when I first bought the block, I was working in Kew on a mine site, and I saw this fight in the bar in Kew. The littlest guy in the bar bashed up this big truck driver, and then one of the boys in the bar said, "Oh, big Kahuna," and I went, "Actually, I might just call my place Lake Kahuna, just as a bit of a joke." Kahuna could mean anything, but because I've named it so long, people, go, "Oh, yeah," and I even say to people, "Oh, yeah, just see the sign Lake Kahuna," and they go, "What?" Yeah, no, for real. And even over the years, I've had about half a dozen people, they rock up, "Oh, I thought it was a campground. I thought it was an act." No. No, nice of you to visit, but this is my place.
And is there much of a lake there?
I've got a very good dam, which has got marron in it, and got a mate to dig it, and on a really hot day, I can swim in it. In fact, I've had quite a few of the local kids have learnt to swim in that dam, including my own son. And then when he grew up, when he was quite young, a lot of his friends, they learnt to swim there, like the Gunn family. They were a big family. They all learnt to swim there, and a few other people. And not so long ago, like my son's left home there was the neighbours' kids and teenagers, and it was like the next lot of customers had swam in my dam. So it's a bit of a tradition, and the odd dog might have a little dip. And then, yes, the owner and CEO of Lake Kahuna occasionally dives in the dam.
And what does your son do now?
Waylon, we all know, is a world champion unicyclist. He doesn't do that so much now, but he's doing a trade in fitting and machining in Sydney. He's doing really well. He's working hard. He works about 6 days a week, lots of overtime. He likes the challenge of being in a big city. He does a lot of indoor rock climbing. He's a very strong young man. He's my driver and bodyguard when I go to Sydney.
And I'm trying to remember your other son's name.
Jordan.
Yeah,
he's in Sydney in the inner city with his wife, and he works as a photographer, and she works as a film editor. And yeah, it's always a buzz to go to. Well, I've got something to say in the inner city in Sydney. I'm born and bred from Sydney. I know it very well, and I love nothing more than just going for a walk through the skyscrapers and around the harbour and beaches in Sydney. I've been doing it all my life, so it's to me it's fun.
We'll have to get Jordan's feedback on all the things we need to do differently on the podcast.
Oh yes, well he sort of is our unofficial special consultant.
Excellent. All right. I had some other questions for you, but we're going to ask you about your travels that you're going to sing about in a little bit.
Yeah, well, I recently did this train trip because I've travelled overseas. I've really enjoyed that. I've been up to the Azores and Japan, some amazing places in the world. But international travel is just a bit too complicated. So I thought I want to do something really different, and I thought I'll do a train trip. And I thought, well, if I could do it all the way from Bunbury all the way, I thought, no, it's just too much. So I flew into Adelaide, had a couple of days there, got to know Adelaide, and Adelaide, that was good fun.
Vox Pop. Yay!
Beautiful. Is it a he or a she?
It's a he.
And what's his name?
Atticus.
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 Why did you inflict that on a poor little puppy dog?
Because it's a gorgeous name for Atticus Finch from To Kill a Mockingbird, my favourite book ever.
So
Second favourite.
A lawyer who was fighting for the rights of human has been reduced to a dog.
No, he's a very serious, gorgeous little teddy bear, and he's all about equal love for all.
Oh, good. Well, that makes sense. Now, hang on. Is this a male or a female?
They're brothers. This is Pym.
Pym?
Pym.
As in...
Magnus Pym.
Who's Magnus Pym?
Magnus Pym is a character from a Le Carre spy novel. Sorry. I like spy novels. I like Atticus. I like To Kill a Mockingbird. It's from a Le Carre thingy called The Perfect Spy. And Magnus Pym is the son of a rogue, who's he's just a salesman and a bit of a rogue, and he teaches his son all of the tricks of the trade about being a charismatic guy.
Gonna have to read this book now.
And Pym is very much charismatic, so he's got Pym.
Now, what breed are they?
Lagottos. Lagotto Romagno. They're from Italy.
Yep.
They're a really ancient breed, older than the poodles.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
And better than poodles?
Well, I don't know. I like poodles too, but they're sturdier, more farm animals than poodles, if you know what I mean. Poodles seem a bit prissy at times. Mind you, they've also got a big brain, so yeah.
And now, why do you have them?
I have them because they hunt for truffles on my property.
So you got truffles?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, nice. And do you have truffles for breakfast, lunch and dinner?
No. We have truffles in roast chicken, on steak, and on chips.
On chips?
Yeah.
Hot chips?
Yeah.
You put truffle on your hot chips?
Hey,
well,
if you've got a truffle farm, you grab truffles, you turn it into truffle salt, and you put it on chips.
That'll sound awesome. Like, I'm sorry, I'm just going to have some truffle with my chips.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, how long have you lived in Northcliffe for?
I've actually been here since 2005. 2005 we bought the property, and I came across in the ute. I came across in a Jeep by myself across the Nullarbor.
Oh, yeah?
Pulling a trailer.
Why did you pick Northcliffe?
It was on the internet. Realestate.com. You put a few filters in realestate.com, such as a goodly amount of rainfall, not far from the coast, land, a property of a certain size, a budget of a certain smallness. Up came Northcliffe.
Oh.
And I did uni here, so I thought, yeah, we'll check out Northcliffe.
Oh.
So that's how we sneakily found Northcliffe.
Nice. Now, just another couple of things. So firstly, right, I've been on a bit of a rampage at the moment.
Oh.
Do you know what a phascogale is?
A phascogale. Sounds like a bird.
No, oh my God, people.
Sorry.
Why don't you know what a phascogale is? It's all right. No, well, go home and Google it now, all right?
Phascogale.
It's all right. It's not just you.
Is it flora, fauna, mineral?
Fauna.
Okay.
It's a cute little marsupial. It's
Of course
adorable.
it is. Of course it is.
But I've been on a rampage. I'll get over it.
Is
It's a deadly carnivore.
Yeah, like a drop bear.
G'day viewers, I'm Pete and I'm involved in the Northcliffe bee group down at the family centre, and this hive behind me was a double brood box yesterday and I added a super to it, and now I'm going to go up into the shed and show you how I extract the honey. See, I've taken most of the capping off and you can see how beautifully fully capped it is, and it's very important to have it fully capped. That means the honey moisture, or the moisture in the honey is correct, and it's absolutely ripe for spinning, extracting. I'm going to put this uncapped frame into my centrifugal spinner. Do you want to show in there, Zach? So we just sit that in there, and I'll do the same with the other one and put it directly across. You can have 4 in this, but today I've just got 2, but that will be okay. Now that I've decapped both sides, I'll put this one in the spinner as well. And now we'll start it up. Just have a look in there, Zach. So that's just a nice slow speed, and then we increase that. And then that spins, hopefully, the honey off the frames. So there we go, that's both frames nearly fully extracted of the honey. And then when we finish doing that, I'll tip it into a bucket which has a strainer on the top, a double strainer. Okay then, so they've been spun for about 4 or 5 minutes on each side. And I'll bring it out now. Just go back a bit, Zach. So now you can see all the honeycomb is still intact. There's the black plastic foundation down the bottom. And all that honeycomb gives the bees a head start, and they can start loading that up with honey again. Okay, now after extracting those 2 frames, this is what we've got, which is probably about 4 kilos of honey. And then I'll just undo my tap, and then out we come. This will drain through. This will drain through those sieves, and gravity just does the rest. Just keeping an eye that it doesn't overflow. And yum yum. And there we have it. Lovely Northcliffe honey. Northcliffe naturally.
I got something to say about MH370 we could talk about.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Malaysian Airlines?
Yeah, because...
Do you know what's happened to it?
Yeah, it flew over the farm. I saw it that night, and it landed... I'm pretty sure it's in the Southern Ocean, south of Windy Harbour.
It flew over the farm?
Yes. I had my birthday party that night.
Yeah.
And I woke up the next morning and heard about the plane disappearing. And I had a really late night. All my friends left. And I remember I heard a loud noise which sounded like an airplane, and I remember walking out the front of Jen's house, my mother-in-law's house, and I looked up in the sky and I could hear this really low-flying aeroplane. I saw lights of an aeroplane really low going over the farm. Never happens before, because no big planes ever fly over the farm, and never that low. And the next morning I woke up to the news that MH370 disappeared.
Have you told anyone this?
And my mother-in-law heard and saw it as well. She saw the lights and heard the noise of the big plane, like a jet plane, like really loud. And we could see the blinking lights in the sky. And I commented on multiple Facebook posts and mentioned it here and there to friends. But yeah, and then I saw the documentary on TV the other day where they did more research, and it actually fits in the radius where it could have gone in that time with the fuel it had.
Yeah, right.
So I'm convinced that it flew over the farm. It also fits early in the morning. I checked the time of Kuala Lumpur time compared to Perth time, the distance, and it's in the radius where it could have flown. And I'm convinced it crashed in the Southern Ocean, south of Windy Harbour.
Wow.
So I don't think anyone ever searched there.
This is it, 1 million hits for our very first YouTube upload.
I don't know. And I'm pretty sure there were Facebook posts on some local Facebook pages, and other people had heard that aeroplane that night as well. I think there was a lady from Manjimup who thought she heard something and saw something.
Wow.
So, yeah, I don't know who else to tell.
We've got to tell the internet.
Yeah, I don't know. They haven't searched in the Southern Ocean down there.
Yeah, no, and everywhere they've searched, what they think it hasn't been there.
Exactly. So it could be south of Windy Harbour on the ocean floor. Just an idea.
Wow.
Should send someone there to search.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw some interesting lights from Salmon Beach. We were fishing on the beach, and I could see what looked like a light.
Yeah.
So to the right, I looked like maybe lights on a beach somewhere up there.
Yeah.
And then they just kept going out, like past the land, over the ocean. And I was with a friend called Jade, and I pointed it out to him. Wow, that's interesting. But it was really bright, like a helicopter light or car lights.
Yeah.
And they were coming out, and it was sort of going out on an angle, and then it sort of hung in the sky, and then it was just going like zip,
Gone.
zip,
UFO.
zip. I don't know, but it was lights that just kept going out,
Yeah.
and up and down, and just doing all of this stuff that's physically impossible. And I talked to my friend Jade, and then we had finished fishing. We walked up the beach, and you could still see the light going way out, like higher, and talked to some other fishermen that were there, and they could see the light, and yeah, it was quite interesting.
Wow. Have you heard or seen anything suspicious, Graham?
There's no such thing as UFOs, children.
That's what I think. That's what I think.
No, well, not UFO-wise. I haven't seen anything strange. I've seen a snail that shouldn't exist.
A snail?
Yeah, like the size of a Besser brick.
What size is that? Wow. Alive?
Alive. We reported it, and they thought that we were high on mushrooms or something. But it was on a mountain that Polly and I both saw it.
Yeah.
And we were living on Mount Jerusalem National Park, which is near Mullumbimby. And it is remnant rainforest from the rainforest that used to go all down the east coast. And we had this extreme storm. Part of the reason they didn't believe us was because 20 metres before we saw this snail, we saw half a snake, black and white snake, writhing around on the forest floor.
Half?
Half.
Okay, did you take a photo of it?
No.
Not of the
We
snail
didn't
either?
have mobile phones.
Okay. Oh.
And yeah, I know. We in retrospect, we're like, someone should have stayed with the snail and then gone and got help or a camera or something like that. But then we also sort of were thinking about if it got out this snail existed, previously undiscovered giant Australian snail, much bigger than any other Australian snails that are documented, probably wouldn't exist for long.
Well, it could have had your name as a discoverer.
Could have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it still will. I mean, we did report it.
You could go back there and look for it.
It had scarlet markings, though, all up its sides. And we had someone come and try and convince us that it had no shell.
But it had one.
It had a shell because it was in a puddle of water and we were worried it was drowning. We thought those scarlet markings might be some kind of thing. So I actually picked it up and moved it. And part of the reason we didn't do much more than that is because it was the start of our walk and we came back the same way. We were like, oh, well, we'll see how far it's got when we come back.
Yeah, but it was gone.
Completely gone.
Yeah, hours later or a day later? Or...
Oh, no, just like 45 minutes later.
Okay. Oh, fast then.
Well, something ate it, or it morphed back into the fourth dimension.
Interesting. Yeah.
Well, that's all from us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look out, Joe.
I forgot to record the separate audio.
What do you mean?
So the audio's being none of the microphones were
Turned on.
Yeah. So
Video?
the audio would be recorded by the 3 cameras.
Oh no.
But yeah,
But
You'll have to get a track from them.
But you've got to hit the button.
So we didn't record us. I
Not-
thought it was
not from
green.
this.
It's red recording and
Red's
green.
recording.
Yeah, green.
Right,